Okay, so today I'm going to show you the basics of how to grow tomatoes indoors. I'm going to give you a few images here of my current tomato plant. It's a cherry tomato. Got probably a good 20 or 30 ripe tomatoes on here if we can find them in here. I've got my grow light off, so it might be a little bit dim. With the grow light on, it's going to wash out what we can see here. But as you can see, it's a fairly healthy plant. Got a good number of flowers on here, so we're going to get a constant supply of tomatoes. And this is an indefinite cherry tomato plant. I'll go into that in just a second. I'm going to put this back on the stand. Okay, so you need a few things to grow a tomato plant indoors. First thing you need is a very good grow light. I've got a 4-bulb, 4-foot long, T5 high output fluorescent fixture. And that seems to provide the right amount of light. It produces about 20,000 lumens spread over about 4 square feet, 1 foot by 4 feet. So that's just about right for the tomato plant. For the bulbs in that, you need to make sure that you have some in the blue-green spectrum as well as the orange-red spectrum. You need the bushy growth as well as you need the lights in order to get the plant to blossom. So I think I have 6500K bulbs, 2 of those, and 2 that are 3000 give or take. And that'll help, like I said, to maintain the growth here. I leave the light on roughly 14 hours a day. It can vary from there a little bit. Definitely make sure you do give the plant some nighttime as well. Usually 6, 8, maybe even 10 hours like I do. Amount of light really depends on whether you have this by a window or whether the sole source is the fixture itself. For me, it's mostly the fixture, so I'm giving it, like I said, about 20,000 lumens over 4 square feet. Other thing you want to consider is the soil. I have I used a bag of vegetable gardening soil. I think it was Miracle-Gro, but you could get another one as well. Put that in the trough over here. That's roughly 2 feet long, 6-7 inches deep of soil, about 7 inches wide, and that's about the minimum that you want to have for this. If you go with anything smaller, you're going to have too many fluctuations as far as nutrients and keeping it moist, and plants do better when they're fairly steady as far as their growing conditions. When you water the plant, make sure you do give it a good dousing of water without flooding your pot. You do want to make sure you have a pot that is going to drain any excess water. That's one for sure way to kill off your tomato plant, or at least make it very unhealthy. Good test for the soil wetness. Put your finger in there. If down to between the first and second knuckle or so, it's completely dry, go ahead and make sure you do water that and give it a nice good dose of water. If you're using tap water that has a lot of hardness, it can be good to water it so that it drains all the way through, so you're not getting a good buildup of the hardness that's in the water there, the calciums and other inorganic compounds, because they're going to form a crust in the surface. So you do want to water that all the way through. I use reverse osmosis, but you don't need to use that. So really, it's as simple as that. And like I said, this is actually from a clipping from an indeterminate cherry tomato plant. This is what I got off my cherry tomato plant in fall. Took a clipping, put it in water, left it in there for about 2 weeks, rooted up, put it in the soil. It's been growing ever since. So you should have some good luck as long as you do some pretty basic things for the tomato plant. Like I said, the key is good soil. Don't get it from outside. You don't want to bring in bugs or parasites, disease. You need good lighting. Make sure you do water the tomato plant as needed there, and you should do just fine. You are going to have to add some fertilizer here and there. I'd get one that isn't too high in nitrogen. We don't want this thing to grow like crazy since we're indoors, but you don't want to make it suffer either. I would just get basic fertilizer that's made for tomato plants. If you start with a good soil, you may not have to even fertilize for the first 2.5, 3 months or so. But keep an eye on your plant, fertilize as needed, water, and have some tomatoes. Kids love this. They love coming over and just picking off a tomato plant and eating it in the middle of winter, or even the summertime. It's a lot of fun. A lot better than sitting around watching TV. So do something fun. Plant a tomato plant. I think you'll get some enjoyment out of it. All right, have a good one, guys.